How'd you start your day that day?
My platoon was asleep and woken by a explosion, which is relatively close to our barracks. It was close to the sound of what we've been getting, which is a B-10 recordless rifle. Once we woke up, then we started our operations as we would do to support the elements that are on force protection, which is running ammunition and supplies to the front.
Describe what happened as the day went on. Like, talk to me about your day.
As after the first explosion happened, I started gathering my men, putting on our gear, our protective gear, and grabbing as much ammo and lubrication as we could. And we started pushing people to or my soldiers to the vehicles that were in force protection. Once soldiers started leaving the building, we knew that it was a different kind of attack. Usually we get attacked by small arms fire from one location or a incoming round from a different location. But this day was very different because we were getting everything from every location, from indirect fires to RPGs to small arms to accurate sniper fire and dishkas. My men grabbed what ammunition and lubrication they could and started pushing it to the trucks that are on force patrol.
Why did you need the lubrication?
Well, it's just that once that they get engaged in a firefight with the main weapon systems of 50 caliber or the 240, it's good to continue to lubricate those weapons in a firefight to prevent any stoppage or jams.
What weapon were you carrying?
I was actually carrying multiple weapons at the time. I went from my personal weapon, my M4, to a 240 Laughing sniper rifle, back and forth, whatever weapon system I could grab at the time.
And why were you grabbing so many different weapons?
Well, we were firing so many rounds, it was easier just to pick up another weapon that had a full clip of ammunition in it that was nearby, and then another would reload the rounds in, or vice versa, handing off rounds to everybody else.
Okay. Describe to me the volume of fire at its peak.
It was extreme. It was something that you would imagine in a Vietnam era movie, World War II movie, or something that you would watch. It was hundreds of thousands of small arms rounds, machine gun fire, and just constant incoming direct or indirect fire from the B-10 recordless rifle or possibly a mortar tube. And RPG rounds were shot from all elevated positions from 360 degrees. It was non-stop. It was round after round. All rounds were accurate and very close to everybody that was running and trying to perform their jobs.
And your job was to bring ammunition to the fighting positions at Fort Protect?
Yes, my job was to ensure that was happening, pushing soldiers my soldiers in different directions to different trucks to resupply them with what they needed.
Describe what it's like to run through that volume of fire.
Initially, it's mind-numbing. You have a lot of fear, but you know deep in your mind that as a leader you have to get those things done, and you can't put fear within you. You have to push it aside. And at most times we were like going into autopilot, or a machine, if you will, that we didn't act on a fear, but we acted off of instinct.
Okay. What kind of things did you see as you went through the course of the day?
A lot of explosions that were very close. A lot of soldiers that were tired. A lot of, sometimes there was some panic. I saw a lot of injuries that needed to be aided for. I saw a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that day.
How did you motivate yourself to motivate them?
I went back to some of my relatives, my uncles that had been in the same situation when he fought in Vietnam, and he gave me some words of wisdom that you cannot ever, let yourself down. You cannot ever let your soldiers see any kind of weakness, no matter how good or bad it is. And then I just built confidence off those words and try to focus it on my soldiers.
Were you part of the effort to retake the Combat Outpost Keating?
I was part of the effort. What we did is, between Red and myself, we bounded forward to take over the entry control point. Red was basically the main effort, but at the time it really wasn't 1st Platoon or 3rd Platoon or headquarters. We were all basically one platoon working together. I humorously called it Purple Platoon because the red and blue, but we were all a family at the time, and we knew we had to take care of each other, so we worked together hand in hand.
And describe that fight to retake Keating.
The fight to retake was basically Red initiated a movement, and we bounded along with them, providing them cover fire. Once the Red element, which was Staff Sergeant Romachet and a few soldiers from my platoon and his platoon, went and engaged several AA fighters that were penetrating the EC, or the entry control point at the time. Once we attained that small victory, it was motivating to know that, you know, our soldiers are great fighters, and then they faced the worst of adversities and punched back as hard as they possibly could.